this is my career.
Sure.
And it's getting dicey.
I learned an instrument, mastered it, learned how to sing, learned how to audio engineer. Like, I learned this entire skill set just to grieve.
Part of that might be the anxiety of feeling like, you know, the career like maybe coming to an end. I got to cram it all in now.
We all live inside a body, and every body comes with challenges. I'm going to talk at this camera, which is my camera. Hello there. So, hey there. So we are back again. This is Byron Isaacs, bass player for the Lumineers. I'm David Weintraub, the owner at Bodyworks DW, and we are back for a 6th episode of The Challenge of Being You. However, we are fast forwarded. Our first 5 episodes we filmed in June of 2025. We are now in November of 2025, and so we filmed the first 5 episodes prior to Byron's big world tour with the Lumineers. He is now back, at least for a short period. I don't know, you're always in and out of town.
Essentially back until the end of the year.
All right, so you're back for a couple of months, right? But you had a long 4-month.
Oh my gosh, it was
slog.
Maybe the toughest slog of any tour I've done.
Got it, right. And so basically we prepped him in June with a 5-session series to help his shoulder, which was really acting up, his hip, which was pretty problematic, and his left foot, which we did as much as we could for, to try to get him, you know, into as good a place as we could for the tour, knowing that then the tour was going to basically kick the crap out of him. And now we get to see how well that did, and knowing that it probably deteriorated throughout the tour. And of course, he messaged me a few weeks ago saying, help!
Yep.
It did kick the crap out of me, and I could use some help. And we thought, great, let's have you back in for a post-tour episode, fix you up again, get you back in some shape, and see where you're at, which is a really good testament to what a 5-session series can do, and also the idea that no, it's not going to fix you forever and ever and ever. And, you know, if you go then out and beat yourself up really, really hard, you know, you're going to need some maintenance after the fact.
That's
and
right.
So I thought this was a really good idea to have you back in this context and really talk about all of that.
Yeah.
And so with all of that intro aside, how you doing?
Well, you know, I'm definitely feeling the effects of several months of just hard touring. And our lead singer, actually everybody in the band, like, and they're much younger than me, they were all so beat down that they've committed to readjusting the schedule so we never do this again. But essentially, for 12 weeks, we were doing, maybe 14 weeks, it was show day off, show day off, show day off. Mm-hmm. Every now and then we'd have 2 days off. And very often, though, that off day would be a travel day.
Oh.
So it was just beating us to pieces.
Yeah.
And, you know, our management showed up, and one of the managers came up to, you know, the drummer of the band and was like, "You look tired." And he was just like, steam started coming out of his ears. Yeah, right. Slowly I turned. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Anyway, hopefully we're not going to, well, actually, they had already booked this not Europe tour, rest of world tour that we're about to start in the beginning of January. And so that's already set, and it is just as brutal.
Ugh, okay.
But that's pretty much just a month. Mm-hmm. A little over a month. I leave on the 30th of December, and I get back February 10th.
Okay. For everyone out there in management, travel is not a day off. Travel is harder than the rest of the work that you do. It is. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Go rent that movie and then think about the things that you're putting your talent through. That's all I will say. Go rent that movie for homework and come back to me. That's all I will say about that. In fact, rent that movie and watch it 10 times in a row. That's your homework as managers.
Yeah.
Okay, enough said.
So I'll say that starting off, having gone through that series, I was in so much better shape starting off.
Awesome.
And I did quite well, and that really that coasted me through at least the first half of it, like in pretty damn good shape. It really had a lasting effect that I really noticed, especially with how much you opened up my back. I don't know if you remember the intercostals had just gotten so crunched.
Yeah.
They've never really returned to being as bad as they were.
Great.
When we started that series. My posture is still, it's not as good as it was at the end of that, but it's better than it was when I first came in.
The way you're sitting right now is so much more open than when we started that series, even after this brutal thing that you took on. So.
Yeah. Now other things though, like my walking is wobblier. I think this is just the MS progressing.
Yeah.
My left hand is not as functional.
Yeah.
Again, that's the MS. This at this point is getting concerning enough that I almost care more about my hand than I even do about walking.
Yeah.
Like this is my career.
Sure.
And it's getting dicey, but I was still able to do the shows. Still able to get across the stage, not looking conspicuously gimpy. And in fact, nobody noticed. Like Jessica watching me, and she would film me so I could look and watch myself getting across the stage. Toward the end of the run, like in the beginning, like it felt crazy, like walking but looking at it, it looked fine. I just knew what I was going through to get myself across the stage, trying to walk normally.
Right.
But by the end, you could see it.
Right.
But I don't think that the audience could see it, especially because they're not looking at me and they're not looking with that eye, So, still not conspicuously afflicted, but and was still able to get across the stage just fine, hit my marks, still able to get through the show physically with my left hand, being what it is, but definitely I've been feeling it declining, especially toward the end of the tour. Everybody was feeling pretty beat up.
Yeah.
But for me, like symptomatically, the MS stuff, it seems to still. I was hoping I was on a plateau, but I feel like I'm dipping again. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
I think. I brought back your I'm forgetting the name of that device.
The HyperIce Shoulder X or something like that.
So I brought it back for you. I did use it a few times. For me, I didn't notice it helping tremendously. So I brought it back to you.
I might start using that for myself.
Yeah.
They have a new version now that does compression as well that I think might be the one to try.
Yeah. Somebody on tour had one that was like for a hand. You stick your hand in it and it does all the compression stuff. That was pretty great. I have to say I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And so I think you're right. Like maybe like I'm gonna look into that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The compression thing seems to really be cool.
I have multiple compression devices for myself, and it does make a difference.
Yeah. So I think that's the state of me at this point.
And I would say, I think the comment you're making about even the rest of the band even being younger, just feeling the crap kicked out of them is like, you think about, I have a number of clients who are Broadway artists of varying levels, and I've worked with a few who are stars, let's put it this way. I'm not going to name names for client confidentiality. And that gig is brutal, right? Like,
it's brutal.
It's 8
Broadway
shows a
will
week,
kill you.
right? And it's
so
like
much work.
one day off, and even that day is like, oh, come on. You try to get done the personal life things that you have to try. Most people try to get done in a minimum of 2 days off a week with partners in your life and kids and things, you know, and even that is hard to do as a couple with kids and normal personal life, but to try to do that like on your 1 day off is like, it's crazy. And usually they burn out and they have an understudy and that person takes over every once in a while. You don't get to have an understudy, but probably should have one.
Well,
you know.
Luckily, everyone in the band has sort of learned other people's parts. During the pandemic, when we first got back out on the road, because of course we didn't tour for a while, when there was nothing happening. When we first went out, one by one, everyone in the band started getting it, and then would have to be gone for a week, and so people had to start taking up the slack. And so we all, at that point, started learning each other's parts, you know, so that we could, you know, rotate the clock, you know, musical chairs, hop into other, and so there are a couple of people who know all of my bass parts already. And so and we have had the conversation that if my hand is just really not working, you know, like I can hand the bass over to Brandon, for instance, and then I can just sing the background parts and, you know, like, play the Moog pedals, or maybe play some piano stuff, you know. But yeah, so we have started getting some of those contingency plans in place. But you know, you never want to fall back on the contingency plan. It's good to know that it's there. Yeah, but you know.
No, but to the managers, no, days off, real days off, real days off.
Real days off.
Not travel days. Those are not real days off. Real days off. The artists will be better. The shows will be better.
That's true.
They'll write better music. Maybe they won't write better music because their music will be happier, but that's a whole artistic, that's a whole different conversation.
That's a debate for the ages.
Yeah, exactly, right. Oh no, they'll start writing happy music. Oh God. They won't write existential dread music anymore. Oh no.
What the?
No, real days off. And multiple ones, maybe at least 1 or 2 a week.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's true of anybody in life, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that to all the Goldman Sachs VPs out there. I'm saying that to all the startup culture people out there. I'm saying that to Elon Musk. I'm saying that to everybody.
Like rocking 100+ hours a week.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is not, you know, the human body wasn't designed to do any of this. It's not, you know, it's not good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
It's also not designed to do what we're doing right now, which is sit in chairs, which, you know, and the same on the road, you know, it's just a lot of sitting while you're traveling.
Right.
And, you know, like, this is about the worst thing we can do to ourselves.
Right, which is, again, why I say travel days are not days off.
That's right.
Right? You know, it's like, it'd be one thing if you could, you know, walk to the next town. But that's not going to work.
Or the old traveling bards.
Yeah, right.
Back in the day.
That was probably reasonably healthy for you.
Probably.
Other than the bandits and the,
right.
You know, like. All right, we digress. Anyway, okay, so we've got. I mean, when you texted me a few weeks ago, it was the shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. We're obviously talking forearm, forearm, forearm.
Yeah.
How is everything else?
Do you mean financially?
Existentially?
Yeah. Maybe dive in a little more specifically, because I could talk a long time.
How do you feel about the election last night? No, let's not go there.
Let's see. I mean, we're here mostly to talk about the physical, and I'll say, like, emotionally, been hanging in there pretty well. I think, you know, if I weren't a meditator, I'd probably be a lot darker. you know, and feeling really like more full of anxiety about the future, you know, the murky future. But luckily I don't put myself through that too much. Have to be very disciplined about not going there.
Yeah.
But you know, I'd say that for now I can still play music and make a living, and so that's pretty good. I do still make myself too busy. I think perhaps I've taken on too much, even in the off time. I'm just as busy when I'm off the road as I am when I'm on the road. I'm just not traveling. Part of that might be the anxiety of feeling like, you know, the career like maybe coming to an end. I got to cram it all in now, you know.
Yeah.
So, but again, I'm in a lot better mood than I probably should be in.
That relates to something that came up for me this week that I'll just share. I wasn't necessarily planning on it, but I had an epiphany. I was listening to an album of mine, the only album of mine really, that you were very integral in making, which is called The Visitors.
Tony Leone, the drummer, and I were just talking about that record.
Really? Tell me more.
Yeah,
How
I
did
saw him
that
over the
come up?
weekend. I played with him up at Levon Holmes' barn for the Midnight Ramble, and a friend of ours, a bass player, Jeff Hill, was there, and so I was. He's been having some finger issues. I put him in touch with you, but it got all of us talking about about that record and those days, and you as a musician, you know, your life as a musician that predated. You know, you've been doing that longer than you've even been doing this, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So you're, you know, you have all those years of mastery of a whole other form.
All right. So you were telling me that you and Tony were talking about the Visitors record, which is fascinating because just this week, after like probably not thinking about that record for years, I poked into it and started listening to it on the subway, and both had a visceral reaction to listening to it and just started bawling on the subway, but also had this like weird epiphany about it for myself that I want to share, which is kind of mind-blowing. But Christy from Mold, who you know as the drummer, so I had a band called Mold for years. Christy was the singer and the drummer for that band. She heard that record and she saw the lyrics when I wrote it, long before even we recorded it, and thought that it was essentially like a metaphorical homage to my dad who passed, right? Which it never was intended to be. Like I never intended it to be that, but I could easily see that in the lyrical content. When I listened to it again this last week, I always sort of acknowledge, yeah, sure, of course it could be that, right? I had this reaction when I listened to it this week where I was like, oh, God damn it. Because of the relationship that my family had and the fact that like we didn't have like the understanding of psychotherapy at the time, and my mom wasn't comfortable talking about things, and I was basically left to deal with it all on my own. I had this like epiphany where I was like, so in order to deal with my dad dying, I learned an instrument, mastered it, learned how to sing, and didn't master that, but learned to sing.
Oh, you sang your ass off on that
Learned
record.
how to audio engineer, mix records. Like I learned all of these skills just to make this album. Like learned poetry, learned English. Like I learned this entire skill set.
Composition. Those songs are good.
Just to grieve, when I could have just gone to therapy. You know, like, and just talk to my mom, you know, and just you know, like that would have been the more healthy version of grieving in a way. And it's fine. All artists grieve that way, right? It's not like I'm saying that that was a bad thing that I did, but it was also like a really complicated way to grieve, and a really expensive and time-consuming and very and it wasn't a bad way to grieve, but it was also just like a very, you know, there was a part of me that was just like, wow, that was a lot of work. you know, like, that was a really hard way to do that.
Yeah, but you also you put something into the world that could be meaningful to other people.
Yeah.
And you know, the value of art is I think it's largely unappreciated in our culture because we just have so much of it around us. But it's you know, that record is one of my favorites, and it never occurred to me that it was an album about grief necessarily. It's such a rich record it's so fun and fascinating, and you know, otherworldly. There's, you know, the whole, you know, alien side of it. It's just like it's like I found it, you know, for me, just a rich field. Not just for there's good stories. Mm-hmm. You can read into them what you will, you know, and you did a masterful job, really, without intending to, of just creating art that has a universality to it, that's open to interpretation by the listener. And so I'm grateful that you went to the trouble.
Thank you. I did have this because I had, you know, obviously when you're creating your own art and you're so inside of it, it's very hard to be objective. And so having had not really touched it in years and having a lot of time away from it, I had more objectivity. And if I can say so without ego, there's some real strong pieces on that record. It's not, there's some really flawed, or there's some stuff that could have been done much better. Like there's some pieces that didn't get done as well, certainly, and that's just maybe me being harsh. But there's some stuff on there where I'm like, oh wow, that is actually some phenomenal piece of music. Oh, you know, and I was I really was like, wow, that's actually really great.
Yeah. Now that's one I'm really proud to have my name on.
Thank you.
You know, yeah, that was, and so fun. It's so fun to listen back to. Just, it stands up.
Thank you. And the part of it that I think I was like always ragging on myself about was the mixing side. But I have to say, like, given all of the obstacles in the fact that we did it in one day in the studio, because I was poor as dirt at the time, the hard drive almost died and had to be restored from the dead, that I mixed it on some ancient computer with a bunch of software, you know, like there's so many flaws of like limitations that record had to be produced through, you know, and yet, you know, it's actually pretty great.
It's great
in a lot of ways, and you know, this, I don't know. And then, you know, part of it is like objectively, you listen to some of the greatest records. I've been listening to Zeppelin lately, and you know, especially after that new Zeppelin documentary that's come out.
Yeah.
And you realize, just like, you have this image of Zeppelin as just this heavy band, and it's like the guitar sounds are so dink, 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 dink. Like,
they're kind of doinky.
They're really doinky, and it's kind of great, you know. Like,
and they're actually like rather avant-garde.
Yeah,
like they're
totally.
They're like an art band.
They really are,
you know,
and it's awesome. And you know, and it's like, there's, I don't know, the heaviness is definitely from like Bonzo. You know, it's like the drums are what makes that the heaviest band at the time and ever after. But you know.
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, Robert Plant and the compression on his voice is really
What a
makes
singer.
that.
I mean, the live recordings that they have from that time, I mean, some of that, he sounds better than the records. He's just, oh my God.
Yeah.
Robert Plant is just, I mean, yeah. Like, everybody in that band was just a warhead.
Yeah.
Like, there was, you know, can you imagine getting 4 titans like that together just almost by accident? I mean,
Right.
you know,
Well, and
stars
then
lined
and I watched that documentary on a flight home lately, from London recently, and I was like, wait, he was homeless?
Yeah.
Like what? Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
And Bonham's wife was like, stay away from that Plant
Yeah,
guy.
right.
You know, he's no good.
They don't make it like that. They just don't make rock like that anymore.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
you know, it's so hard to afford to be a poor artist anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like you could really swing for the fences when, you know, you didn't have to pay exorbitant rents, and you know, like
Yeah.
like food is so expensive now. Like,
Well-
it's expensive. You have to have a job. You don't have time or energy to like really do something bold artistically the way that, you know, back then it was much freer. You know,
I've said this for years, that the days of New York having an art scene are really hard to understand that could even happen. Like,
I know.
the idea that you or I could have moved to New York in the early 90s and I could be in 10 bands while making a living as a bicycle messenger making $7 an hour, it's just not that's not
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah,
you know?
I was working at the Strand bookstore for $6.25 an hour.
Yeah, that's not a thing here anymore.
No, man, no. It's
Which is a
amazing.
shame. Yeah,
I know.
but all right, we digress.
Yeah.
You know? And you've got a radio interview in a few hours that we got to make sure we get
Yeah.
you to. So, let's get you. Let's get some body reading happening.
Okay.
Let's just see where your posture's at, and then get you on the table.
All right.
So, one thing that I just immediately noticed that I like a lot is that when we started the series, the very first thing I noticed, and I'll just come in frame and show it, was that this left knee was just super buckling. That has stayed largely open. I do see it's got a little bit of a bend to it that's coming back in, but it's not nearly as bad as it was pre-tour and pre-series in June. So
Yeah.
we like that. Like, yes, some of the stuff pre-series is coming back, but it's nowhere near where it was,
Right.
which is what kind of we hope for and expect, right? Like, it would be normal to have some of the stuff creep back in, especially given the description of how much this tour beat you up.
Yeah.
But we like the fact that instead of it being a full regression to where you were, it was maybe a 30 to 40% max regression as opposed to an 80 to 100% regression.
Right.
At least from my visual, that's what I see. It's like
Yeah.
a 40% regression maybe. It's
Yeah.
not, but it's definitely not like an 80% regression. Now, whether that feels like, what that feels like is a different story, but visually what I'm seeing is that,
Yeah.
you know, which
That's
means
great.
it shouldn't be that hard to get you set back. You know, that's what we want. We want a series to be something that, no, it's never going to last forever, but when you put a bunch of input and it knocks the series out, it doesn't take a full series to get you back.
Right.
It just takes 1 or 2 maintenance sessions to get you back, right? And that's what we like to have. We want to have a base from the series that makes it such that it does not take a bunch of work again to reset you, right? And
Right.
that's what we like. And then when we see this reaction where it's like, yeah, we see the old patterns coming back, but not anywhere near as bad, I know from experience it won't take much to get you into a good place.
That's
today.
great.
Whether we get you fully back to where the whole series ended up, probably not in one day, but maybe that might actually be possible today. We'll see.
Yeah.
Definitely see some of this, but
Yeah.
the shoulder's not way up here, which I like.
Right.
You know. And
Also, it's a funny thing. Like I can't actually straighten my
Yeah.
arm anymore. It won't straighten like that. It just it won't. It just won't release in here. You know, like, and even trying to push it down, just doesn't want to open. You know.
Yeah, that may be a protection mechanism. I want
Could
to
be.
play around with that and see.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's definitely something to look into. I want to give you some homework for that for sure.
Okay.
Biceps are tough. I always say this, you know, biceps are tough because you can't actually bend your elbow backwards to stretch the bicep.
Stretch it. Right.
Right? So we have to find ways of potentially, instead of trying to stretch it, to do self-release on the muscle so
Right.
that we can try to straighten it in different ways, like
Right.
foam roller things.
And that
or-
is part of the problem with MS is it makes it so that your muscles don't want to release.
right.
You know, they'll grip and then they just like, you try to make them release and they're just like,
Nope.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, some of that may be coming from up in here. I'm just trying to notice. Well, no, the neck position is much better. You know, if we were to, you know, do a side by side from like pre-session 1 of the series and just how much your neck was over to the left.
Right.
Your neck is in the center right now. It's great,
good.
which, you know, it
Yeah.
has not shifted way over, which we like, right? And so the good news is it's not coming from cervical tension as much.
Right.
Great. Again, makes it much easier to deal with much more of just arm tension and shoulder stuff than it does nerve compression in the cervicals, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if I had gone on tour without having done that series with you, I probably wouldn't have slept a night because all of that traveling, my neck would have just been destroyed.
Yeah.
And, you know, really it's only been in the last couple of weeks that I've started having neck pain again, you know.
Cool.
And so it's like that lasted and really got me through.
Nice.
Like it would have been a misery with the shape my neck was in when I first came to see you.
Which actually brings to a side question of like finding you the right pillow, which is worth doing. Something I've experienced myself recently where I went to the Sleep Number store, got a fancy bed for myself because of my autoimmunity, which I won't get into the numbers of how much that cost me. But they found me a pillow that I would never have bought for myself because I thought it was too tall. But
Right.
objectively, he was like, no, your spine is now in a straight line. It did not feel like it was
Right.
until I was like, well, you're the one on the outside looking at me.
Right.
My proprioception must be lying to me. Right? So if we could have somebody find you the right pillow, I've now just given up on the idea that I can travel without my pillow. And I'm literally like, I might just buy a suitcase and spend the money to check it and travel with my pillow.
Yeah.
Because that's what I need to do for my autoimmunity.
Yeah.
And so it may be that you may, you know,
That's not a bad idea.
might need to do that. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
those are the kind of things that just are like, is the, you know, yeah, it costs more, but is, you know, how much are you going to save on massages at the end of the tour? Like, you know, there's a cost benefit analysis where it's like, you know, spending more now saves you money later that, you know.
And also, you know, if you can avoid being in pain at any time,
That's
you
right.
should. And it's
And
worth spending some money for.
Yeah, and as I say in many videos, spend your money on the things you do the most, and sleeping is one of the things you do the most.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
That's right.
So if it costs, you know, $100 to $200 for a fancier but the right pillow that actually makes you sleep better and no pain, that's worth it, you know. And if it costs you, you know, a couple hours of your life to go somewhere and have somebody actually pick out a pillow for you that will have you sleep better, guess what? That's probably worth a few hours of your day, you know,
Yeah.
or
for
your
sure.
life. But
Yeah.
anyway, I digress. Okay, let's have you turn that way.
Turn this way. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is looking great. I mean, you really have held a lot of the series. This is like, if we just were to put this side by side pre-session 1, you know, this just looks so much more of a plumb line, still holding that, and turn it to the other side. And this side, you know, is the side that's more impacted by the MS and still could use some work here to clean it up a little bit more. But even this still holds a lot of the work compared to the you know, so the tour beat you up, but not as much as you think posturally.
That's good.
Which is great. So, which again means that with one cleanup today, we can get we can get you to a great place. Now, whether, you know, and the other thing I would say, just, you know, knowing the way that we work at Bodyworks is like, after having the series with me and his condition, which is a pretty specialized thing with the MS, he's now in a place where if I'm not available, he could come in and see anybody on my staff for this kind of a cleanup and get the same effect of, you know, really returning to the place you were post-series.
That's great.
You know, like, you know, really, because you've held the work so well, you know, it doesn't, like, the goal, let me say it differently. There are conditions, like most common conditions, my staff can help with anybody. You don't necessarily need me. There are some very specialized things where, yeah, you probably should work with me at first, or my most experienced lead therapists, at least for the first 3 to 5 sessions. But then once you get to that place where everything's starting to line up and you're feeling a lot better, and then you sort of knock it out of whack, it really wouldn't take working with me to put it back together again. It would just take a couple maintenance sessions, and really could be anybody on staff that would do that for you.
That's fantastic.
Which is good, because I have a 4 to 6 week wait list and you might not get to work with me.
Right.
So anyway, just a sort of how this could all work for you as a client. All right, let's get you on the table.
All right.
All right, so since it's been a while, we are just gonna do a 90-minute fullish body tune-up with focus on your arm for sure.
Okay.
But we're gonna get a little bit of everything. Mostly because you need everything.
Yeah. My shoulder is still slightly frozen, but it's not really painful. It's just limited mobility in the left shoulder. The pain sure did last a long time. Frozen shoulder sucks.
Yeah. Well, and when I say full body, I really mean very asymmetrical. Where you need it.
Yeah.
your friend Jeff that you referred for
Trigger finger.
I felt the need to warn him that the idea of getting a session and then playing a gig that night was probably a bad idea.
Really, really bad idea.
Yeah. I was like, Byron, please tell him that what that would feel like. You know?
Yeah, that'd be no bueno.
I'm glad that it's gonna work out, though.
Yeah, you know, he's. I don't know if you guys talked much about it. He's had it in a couple of other fingers on that hand, and had surgery.
Oof. And let's keep last names off the video just for confidentiality, just in case. But
And he definitely does not want to have to do the surgery thing again. He does not like the lingering after effects of that. You know, avoiding surgery is really important,
Yeah, definitely.
if at all possible. As a last resort, you know,
Yeah.
can certainly save you, but
Well, and there can become a pile-on effect if you've had multiple surgeries where they start to
that's it. Yeah.
become detrimental because the scar tissue just starts pulling on itself and
Yeah.
actually just compounding and making the situation worse over time.
And looking at his hand, you know, like where the surgeries were, you know, like his hand is working functionally fine, but when he holds his hand flat, you know, it looks slightly disfigured
Yeah.
where the surgery had been. I think probably just some of the cartilage, and you know, it's just like there's swelling and scar tissue in there that's just always gonna, you know, be noticeable.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that may never change. You know.
I mean, I think it was a few years ago that he had the surgery. It's probably not going to change any, you know, appreciably at this point.
No. Aesthetically, no. You know, functionally.
Functionally, I think it's all fine, but he says he can still feel it. Like it's. This is why he wants to avoid doing it again.
Right.
You know.
Oh, that is so good. I remember when we started working on this in June and I couldn't even move this thing in this direction at all.
Yeah, it has gotten. I mean, that helped tremendously, and then it's also done some healing in the meantime. And I try to do stretches for it every day. That's really fun. Ooh.
I think fun means something else.
Yeah.
I don't think fun means what you think it means.
I got that euphemism from you. Like, this'll be fun. No, I don't want it to be fun.
All right, do me a favor and push your elbow back towards your hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go.
Ooh.
Yeah, breathe.
Doesn't feel nice inside the joint.
Oh, all right. No, I was hoping for a muscle stretch, not a joint stretch. All right, let's try it this way then.
Okay.
Do that.
Do like this? Yep. Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe. Breathe. And again, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, push hard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go the other direction. Push this way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Interesting. Deltoid is way involved, which is unusual.
It's probably just gripping. It's like that extra tone. It's trying to protect. I get that we're just like muscles will just start resisting. Oh wow, I haven't been able to do that in a long time.
Yeah, that's actually not. I didn't think that was going to be that easy. All right. I want you to push your elbows sideways right into my palm. That's good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, this time what you're going to do is you're going to push into this, but you're also going to push your palm into your back. Or the back of your hand into your back. Yes.
That hurts. Okay.
Is it sharp pain or just...
Yeah, kind of. It's
Let's soften it up a little bit. Is that better?
I think so. Let me see if, it's almost like in the front of my the ball.
Yeah, here. Yeah.
Like,
I kind of want that, but I only want it if it's tolerable.
okay. Ow. Well, yeah. My arm just wants to get out of this position.
All right. Let's let that go.
Oh my God. Oh. Yeah.
So your existential dread. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to know what mine feels like right there, honestly. I was, the day before we were getting ready to sail back from Paros to Athens, and I had to like get the rental car and get my wife and her mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, sorry, her mother, my mother-in-law, back. So I had to unpack all the suitcases, get them, and then drive the rental car back. And in getting all the suitcases out of the rental car, I threw up my back right here.
Oh no.
The classic thing, you know, and because I was rushing around. And so I didn't do it immediately, but I get all the suitcases out, and then I'm trying to drive around, and I'm trying to get the rental car returned. And of course, the way that they have the rental car company set up, it's on this narrow street where I can't just drive up to the rental car place, because if I do that, everybody behind me is just honking at me incessantly. And so I'm driving around in circles for like 10 minutes trying to figure out how to return this car. And as I'm doing it, this area just starts seizing up. And it took me a week and a whole acupuncture session and a chiropractic session to get this area to like open back up again. And so I had an awful night's sleep.
Of course.
And then, of course, had to fly home with my back completely
no.
seized up for 11 hours.
Oh.
And, you know, I was like, I didn't even know if I could get my suitcase up in the overhead with it that way. You know, and so it's just like this, just like, what is happening? And it was like the classic thing that, like, literally, like, everybody, I tell my clients not to do, you know, like, which is to grab a suitcase and then twist and turn with it, right? And I did the thing that everybody is supposed to, I tell everybody not to do, but of course I was stressed and did it, and that was what happened. And, you know, and so, you know, there's a reason you should do that, and I did it anyway.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because, you know what, when you're rushing around and stressed and like people are honking at you, and
that's when you hurt yourself.
That's when you hurt yourself, exactly. And well, and when you're running on 5 hours of bad sleep a night for a whole 10 day, you know, 9 days straight, and you're in a foreign country and you don't, you know, like there was just a whole pileup of reasons why my normal set of safety protocols in my mind just weren't working.
Yep. And a different bed every couple of nights, and all of that stuff. Yeah, remembering to stay disciplined no matter what's getting thrown at you is that's a whole discipline unto itself.
I mean, that's Buddhism right there.
That's right.
Zen Buddhism is literally like, how can you stay centered no matter what the world is throwing at you?
Yeah.
For the LMTs watching, this knuckle stroke is intended to get adductor digiti minimi. Look it up.
Oh my God.
It sounds awful, not really going that deep. This stroke here is for tibialis posterior. One slightly awful thing I gotta do on this side. Hold that up for me. All right, let it go. For the LMTs watching, I'm working on the second head of biceps femoris here. Also working on plantaris. All right, I want you to point and flex your ankle.
Like that?
Yep.
Okay. It's about as good as I can do.
Just go back and forth. Yep, that's it. Good, keep doing that.
It's hateful.
It's all with love. All right, good job. All right, what I want you to do is curl your toes. Lift your foot towards your ankle while curling your toes. Lift your foot towards your knee while curling your toes.
Yes.
So curl your toes and lift your foot towards your knee. Yep. Curl, lift, yep. And keep your... Yep, there you go. And try to lift the pinky side more than the big toe side. That's it. And just to make you walk and chew gum even more, extend through the heel. Yeah, there you go. Good. That's it. And let it go. And again. Let it go. And again. Let it go. Good. Train your brain.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's so evil.
Is it lawful evil or chaotic evil or neutral evil?
Man. Feels chaotic, but probably is lawful. I love the fact that there could be lawful evil.
Ah, there we go. Did you feel that? A little pop. Ah, good. Got another one too. All right, I'll take that for today. We can rebuild you, make you stronger, faster. Oh man, that's just so much better. It's this, when we try to do this in session 1, this was not even close to possible.
Yeah, I remember. My hip was in bad shape.
Well, the knee too.
Ow. Oof. Those hammies.
No, it's the hands you think, but it's really more the calf.
Right.
All right, let's do this. I want you to, keeping your hip on the table, and keeping your knee locked, and keeping your foot coming back towards your knee. I want you to try from the hip to pull your leg down towards the table and slice off my arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Having trouble keeping my pelvis from tilting forward.
That's all right. That's good enough for today.
Come on, there it goes. And then leg seized up again. Okay. I can tell by the look on your face that you're about to do something to me that I would probably. I know that look on your face. It's like, it's gonna hurt you more than it hurts me.
What are the account numbers for all of your retirement funds?
Right. I'll tell you anything. Just make it stop. Oh God.
What's the PIN number for your debit card? No.
It's my cat's birthday. You okay? You got it. You got me.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, wow. Okay. I want you to start right here.
Okay.
And all I want you to do is slowly extend.
Oh God. Wow. Yeah, that's monstrous. Oh. Oh.
All right, now I want you to do the same thing, but palm up. And keep the thumb moving that way.
Okay, I'll try.
Breathe, breathe, breathe.
Oh God.
That's intense.
Now that bicep has been playing. It's been basically like muscling through these shows for 4 months straight.
Well, and also it's the classic MS thing. There's the arm like coming up
Yeah.
like this, and the hand curling. You know, it's all of it.
Slowly turn your head away to the right. And then just let it relax in that position. Trying to figure out how to do about 5 things at once here. All right, let me switch places with you. What I want to be able to do here is curl his fingers and his thumb and his palm while stretching his bicep and his shoulder and opening this whole line. But I also want to make sure that that opens at the same time and still be able to work on this. And I think I just figured it out using my knee. Folks, this is the first time I've ever done this to anyone. This is, sometimes you just have to invent ways to work, to solve problems when they show up. And what I want to do is just keep spiraling this whole shape. Keep opening this thumb and these fingers while keep opening this palm while continuing to open this. There we go. Try to see if you can let your neck relax. Don't make as big a deal about that head turn, Byron. Yeah. Jaw can relax. Did you get shingles on this side? Was that the side?
I did, yeah. Everything happens to my left side.
Because I'm kind of noticing the side of your jaw flaring up right now, and I don't know if that's new right now or if that's been, like, there's a little bit of, like, I'm going to touch your cheek. There's a little bit of redness right now, right here, and I can't tell if that's new right now or if that's been that way when you walked in. Do you remember if that was red today or?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
I had the remnants of a little scab from a zit that was up here somewhere, but
Yeah.
but no, I didn't have any redness today.
This whole area is kind of flaring up with redness, which is fine, but
Yeah. I get a little bit of that rosacea type of thing from my mom's side too.
feel free to open and close your jaw, maybe circle your head lightly around just to stretch your neck muscles a little bit.
My elbow feels like it's on the verge of hyperextending.
You what?
The elbow just like it feels like it's.
Interesting, because you're not actually fully open yet.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. I don't know why.
You're almost there. Just to open and release. Open, release.
Oh.
Yeah, there's 4 months of tour in there.
Yeah.
How do you do with cold? Have you tried cold on any of this stuff?
No.
I have come around to cold for my
Really?
condition, and to the point where I literally will shower under lukewarm water and then cold water and have to chant a mantra of, I hate the cold, but I need the cold
Right.
to suffer through it, because it will actually have me feel better, even though I hate the feeling of the cold.
Yeah.
But it really does help keep the inflammation down.
Okay.
I don't know that that would be the right thing for you or not, but it's worth experimenting with. You know, with different autoimmune stuff, it really is, you know, can go either way. I will say, for the other, like my other good friend that you know who has MS, I know her to be highly reactive to heat.
Right.
So
I used to always do better with heat.
yeah.
My thumb's locking up there. But lately, I've just started to have the thing where I start to feel like I'm sweltering.
Yeah, well, that's me
that's-
too.
yeah.
The last couple of summers, I'm like suddenly like, I feel like my temperature comfort has dropped
Yeah.
10 to 15 degrees. Like it used to be, I used to be fine at 80 degrees. Now I feel like I have to be at 70 to feel comfortable. And
Right. Yeah.
so,
Yeah. For me, it was just this year that it started. You know, normally I really felt good getting out into the heat, partially because my muscles would all finally relax, and so all that extra built-up tone would start to release. But I've just started to have that like heavy, oppressive like feeling start to,
right.
you know, close in on me. And it's like, oh, this is what all my other friends with MS are talking about.
Right.
This is not good. Like, you start to really feel desperate. Like, oh no, this is not good. This is bad. I need to cool off now.
Yeah, it's a new thing for me too.
Sorry to hear it. Sucks. My thumb is just. There it goes. That's a new thing too, like the locking thumb thing. That's like kind of brand new. That's like
It's
within the
definitely
last
the overplaying. You
maybe.
know.
Like, but that's within the last month that started.
Have I shown you? I'll show you my absolute favorite hand stretch that I
Okay.
have to do myself as a body worker.
Right.
Which you know what, I'll show on camera right now. So basically the best way is to put your thumb against your own chest
Okay.
and then use that to get your whole hand. You use your opposite palm, so you're using your chest to get your thumb,
Right.
and then your opposite hand to get the rest of your fingers.
Right.
And that way you can get your whole hand, including your thumb, because if you just do this, you can't get your thumb.
Right.
And that does allow you to get the whole palm and thumb and fingers at the same time. And
Yeah.
I have to
pretty
do
good.
that every day.
I've seen you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
And you should be doing that multiple times a day,
probably.
all
Yep.
day long, every day, forever.
Right.
Do not stop. Do not collect. You know, do not collect $200. Do not.
Can't we just have the $200 though?
Do not pass go. Whatever that Monopoly term is.
It is. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Yeah. It goes straight to jail.
Go straight to jail if you do not do
not
this stretch
do
every
not
day,
pass go.
multiple times a day. All right, I'm gonna do one more thing,
Okay.
which is just because I have to.
Okay.
Slowly turn your head to the right.
Oh God. Yeah, I was able to turn quite a bit farther this time.
Good. Okay, let's call it.
All right.
have you get dressed, very quickly do a front and a side view while we got the camera rolling, and then send you on your way home so you can get there for your interview. Not much change, which is fine because we weren't in a bad place to begin with, right? But if you turn side to side, the front view doesn't look that much different to me. This side view, when we looked before, was looking really good and still is. Let me have you turn to the other side. Let me see if this is a little bit more cleaned up now.
Okay.
And yep, this is a little bit more cleaned up. The knee, which was more bent, and that was the major issue from session 1, is now definitely a little straighter, right? And the arm still has some stuff, and the neck does too, but I'm hoping it feels better. And so the question I have is just from a range of motion. It might not even look all that much different on camera, just from a movement and feel perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully it feels a lot less frozen than it did when you walked in.
Yeah.
You know, and that's good. And in terms of being able to open the elbow, even though it's still a little bit bent, just hanging there, hopefully it feels like maybe you can open it now if you try to. There we go. Now you
not when I'm turning this way, but when I'm turning that way, I can.
Yeah, great. And so there's more work to do to undo the 4 months of massive touring. Again, managers, days off. I don't know if they're ever going to watch this, but maybe you could send it to them. But but that's a good start. And the fact that the shoulders got a lot more motion to it, that's going to help them a ton, you know, just in terms of starting the process and getting you, you know, out of just like, you know, just feeling like everything just beat the crap out of you, know, which is good. And hopefully walking will also be, you know, a noticeably different thing on the way home. Yeah. You know, and that's often what we want out of a sort of tune-up is, you know, no, we're not going to like be able to magically like go back to like the magic of the post 5 series, but we can get the brain to be like, oh right, that was cool. And even over the next few days, it will start to put all the pieces together and want to move in that direction on its own anyway. Right, and it may jog your brain and be like, oh right, homework, stretching, you know, like all those things, you know, it launches you in that direction. So, hopefully you feel better. Let's get you out of here.
Yeah, okay, great.
And send you on your way home because you got a radio show in an hour.
That's right.
So, all right.
All right.
Cool.